Hello, epic viewers from around the multiverse. Brace yourself for unprecedented epicness, because today my review of the Hasbro Marvel Legends X-Men Apocalypse Wave is about to commence. Does this action figure wave warrant this hefty, exorbitant, premium, staggering price of over $140, or is it abysmal and appalling? Is this wave characterized by insipid mediocrity? Let's find out. In my objective opinion, I'd rate this wave to be a 1 out of 10 at best. Why? Well, unfortunately, to my dismay, these action figures don't warrant their outrageously exorbitant prices of over $20 each. Their decos, their shadings, their textures, their aesthetics, their accessories are lackluster for over $20 each. It's quite a shame and quite a pity what Hasbro has degraded the Marvel Legends line into, but it is what it is. Hasbro has defiled the Marvel Legends line. They've sullied the Marvel Legends line. They've marred the Marvel Legends line. These figures are not worthy of their price points. They don't have enough intrinsic value nor enough extrinsic value to vindicate their price points. They just look mediocre at best, and they're not up to par with the $8 Toy Biz Marvel Legends action figures that trumped these action figures in every facet. The Toy Biz Marvel Legends action figures sported 32 to 40 points of articulation. Their decos, their hues, their shadings, their textures, their accessories, their Build-A-Figure pieces were superior in every facet relative to the Hasbro Marvel Legends action figures. So the problem with Apocalypse figure is that he's barely bigger than the other figures in the wave. He may stand roughly 8 to 9 inches tall, which is just pathetic. I recollect the other Apocalypse figure produced by Toy Biz standing roughly 12 to 14 inches tall, and there were two versions of that. I never bought the variant, but maybe one day I can afford the variant in the coming decades. What else? These figures are devoid of comic books, and they're going to charge 250% more than the superior Toy Biz Marvel Legends X-Men action figures, then they should at least have 250% more value than their predecessor figurines, but that's not the case. These figurines just look shoddy. They look chintzy. The Gladiator figurine looks somewhat decent, but he just doesn't warrant his price point. His shading should be improved. I think that his paints should be glossier. I think that his shadings should be accentuated. I think that it would have been epic if they used metallic sheens. I think that he should come with a multitude of interchangeable heads and interchangeable hands. His wardrobe should be removable. He should come with another figure for over $20. The Psylocke is not better than the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Psylocke. She should come with more accessories, she should come with interchangeable hands. I'm unsure if she comes with them. It's arduous to tell by the photo, but it seems as though she doesn't. But if she does, then she should come with ample interchangeable heads and hands, but apparently she's devoid of interchangeable hands and heads. Sabretooth's figurine should look more savage. He should look more bestial. His shadings and textures should be improved. His fur should be glued on. It shouldn't be a separate piece that can be detached. He should come with another figure, interchangeable heads, interchangeable hands. All these figures should come with interchangeable heads and interchangeable hands, and not just one set. They should come with at least 3 or 4 interchangeable heads with a $20+ price point, and they should come with at least 3 to 4 pairs of interchangeable heads. They should come with at least 3 to 4 pairs of interchangeable hands with a $20 price point. They should come with additional attire that could be removed, and they should come with ample accessories. They should come with energy beams, robes, projectiles, whatever is relevant to the figure. The Apocalypse figure's tentacles are shoddy. The Apocalypse figure is mediocre at best. It's not really anything spectacular. What really grinds my gears is that these figures lack the weathering effects that the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figures had. These figures lack the removable attire that the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figures had. These figures lack the same level of depth in terms of their details that the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figures had. And they just lack the level of value that the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figures has. So the only figure that has merit in the wave is Gladiator and Multiple Man. They're being inducted into the line, which is great. So I'm still going to give this wave a 1 out of 10, because even though new figures are being introduced into the line, the price is just unaffordable and doesn't vindicate the value you receive by buying this wave. So for over $140 I have to pass, and I wouldn't even buy this wave for $50. Maybe I'll buy Multiple Man and Gladiator for a grand total of $15 for both figures, so $7.50 each, if that. I hope that you found this video to be enthralling and captivating. The Marvel Legends X-Men Apocalypse wave doesn't warrant the purchase. It really agitates me that Multiple Man's wardrobe is seemingly unremovable, and his robe, his trench coat, appears to be partially painted on, at least the sleeves are. It should just be fully comprised of rubber, but Hasbro always cuts costs at the expense of their consumers. Gladiator's cape may be unremovable, and the shadings just look mediocre at best. I would love to see some weathering effects. The Storm figure looks scant. The Sabretooth figure looks generic, nothing spectacular. The details on the Magneto figurine could have been improved. I think that the Magneto figurine should look more burly and bulky and more menacing. I think that the Storm figurine shouldn't look so anorexic and gaunt and emaciated. The Wolverine figurine looks akin to what was released in the past. The Psylocke figurine doesn't look anything better that was released in the past by Toy Biz. We just have now an inferior Psylocke figurine, an inferior Storm figurine, an inferior Wolverine figurine, an inferior Sabretooth figurine, an inferior Magneto figurine, and an inferior Apocalypse figurine. Now these figures are inferior relative to their Toy Biz counterparts, are retailed for $8 plus tax. And of course, Apocalypse Build-A-Figure here is probably very close in size to the regular Apocalypse figure, part of the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Series 7 that was released amid the mid-2000s. So it's just disgraceful that Hasbro's charging top dollar and delivering very little value. If you're going to skimp on value, Hasbro, and continue to do that in perpetuity, then charge $5 per figure. That way it could be somewhat vindicated. Not over $20 per figure when they have significantly less value than the $8 Toy Biz Marvel Legends. So I know I keep harping on that, but I just can't get over it. So 1 out of 10 at best. If the Multiman figure was improved, if the trench coat was fully comprised of rubber rather than partially painted on, and if the Gladiator figurine had better shadings and had interchangeable heads, then I'd probably give away the 2 out of 10. But based on what it has to offer, I have to give it a 1 out of 10. Thanks for watching.